future. So thank you again so much to Krista from Penske for joining us today, and for everyone for being flexible, switching from in-person to virtual. We didn't have many people sign up. I was wondering if the weather or the people or the crazy timing, I don't know, but now we'll have this recorded so we can share Krista's great knowledge with everybody. So I'm just going to turn it over to her, and thank you all for coming.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So it should be this one. Okay, and then can you all see my screen and see the presentation slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Okay, so again, thank you for coming and virtually attending to my presentation. Today I'll be talking about our Sales and Operations Management Trainee Program. So we can just jump right into it. And then, so I have this QR code. If you did come to attend, I just ask you that if you can please scan this right now and sign in. I'll give like a minute just to get it up for you. There's just a couple of questions in case we'd like to reach back out. And if you can provide like your email, your name, and like major, it's just a couple of questions, shouldn't take too long. You can fill it out while I can continue the presentation, but I'll go ahead and leave that up right now for you to scan. Okay, and then hopefully you two got it. So I'll go ahead and continue. Okay, so just as a little introduction, my name is Krista Serratos. I am a university recruiter for Penske Truck Leasing, and I'm based out of Indianapolis, but I work for the entire North Central region. I've been with Penske a little over a year now. September 14th was my 1-year anniversary, so that was pretty exciting. Yay! Thank you. And then, so the positions I've held so far within this year were a management trainee, and now I'm a recruiter. So within a year, I've been in 2 positions already. So very quick pace. So then here's just like a little quote. Penske is a place where they believe in you, and I believe in Penske. Okay, and then I do have a quick video to watch. So let me stop sharing so I can pull up my different screen. See where is it? No, here it is. And then, are you guys able to hear the sound?
No.
No? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, hear the sound.
Krista, sometimes you have to, the sharing options change how you like share sound too.
Okay. Cheers. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll go ahead and play this. This is just a quick 2-minute video just to kind of recap. It's called Penske Moves You Forward. So I'll go ahead and.
What happens between here and there? between now and then, between sent and received. What moves the things that move the world forward? The big things, the little things, the fragile things. How do the things we hear and touch and eat and remember get from here to there? At Penske, we move the boxes. We move lives. We move business. We are what happens between here and there. And we move at the speed of life. Penske makes getting things from here to there simple. We make our customers' challenges our own by moving their goals from when to now. At Penske, we do it every day with a smile, with effort, dedication, creativity, and a spirit that never quits. Because for us, sometimes it's the things you don't see that matter. And the journey is as important as the destination. Penske. We move the things that move the world forward.
Okay, so,
If you're a college student,
okay, and then let's go back to the presentation. Okay. Here we go. We move the things that move the world forward. So most people typically know us by our big yellow trucks that you may see on the road. But as you can see in this video that we just watched, we are so much more than that. Our customized transportations and supply chain solutions help move lives and businesses forward. So we don't just understand our customers' businesses, we are embedded in them, and we are driven to help them succeed every day. And in order to do this, we are also looking for driven individuals like yourselves to help us continue to achieve in our success. And this is where I'll begin to talk more about like our company and then our management trainee program. Okay, so overall, we are something actually much bigger. We are part of a Penske corporation. And then as you can see, we have Penske Rental, Leasing and Logistics, Penske Automotive, Penske, Team Penske, and then Transportation Resource Partners. So us all four are part of the entire corporation, and I specifically work within Penske Rental, Leasing and Logistics. Let's see. So just to talk a little bit about each of them, because we'll go more in depth within the Penske. Oh. Okay, so just to talk a little bit more, because like I said, we'll go into the rental, leasing, and logistics more in depth. But Team Penske is actually one of our most successful teams in the history of professional motorsports. So then Penske Performance Inc. Operations include teams competing in the Verizon Indy Series, NASCAR Sprint Car Series, and NASCAR Xfinity Series under the Team Penske banner. And I don't think you guys can see my mouse, but it's the one on the bottom right or bottom left. My bad. And then the team also competes in the Australian V8 Supercar Championship. So it's kind of like all over the place. Let's see. And then Penske Automotive Group Incorporated is an international transportation services company that operates automotive and commercial truck dealership, primarily in the United States, Canada, and Western Europe. And they also distribute commercial vehicles, diesel engines, gas engines, power systems, and related parts and services, primarily in like Australia and New Zealand. And then this portion of the company employs more than 22,000 people worldwide and is a member of the Fortune 500 and the Russell 2000. And if you're not quite familiar with like Fortune 500 and Russell 2000, those are just like primarily like the huge big businesses. So anything under like UPS, Frito-Lay, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, like those huge brands, businesses, companies, those are all part of the Fortune 500. And it's kind of interesting because
Sorry, everybody. I'm getting her back. Oh, there she is.
I hope I didn't lose too much information. But I'll just pick back up. Okay, so we started in 1969. And since then, Penske has gone from 3 locations and just a leasing business to a $6 billion $6 billion transportation services company with more than 1,000 locations spanning the globe. So it is very much growing and becoming very stable within the industry. And then basically we have just led the industry with an underweighting commitment to customer service and innovation. We are very customer service focused. Our goal is pretty much to make the customer happy and make our businesses go round. Okay, so we'll start with the rental department in the series of the 3. So with rental, we provide the newest fleet to help individuals, families, military personnel, and college students, just as yourself, move your household items. We also manage 50,000 plus commercial vehicles to help businesses move forward. I started in the rental department, so this is a very familiar department with me. And again, you guys are probably a little bit more familiar with this since you kind of see our big yellow trucks. Sometimes they come in white as well on the road. And say, even if you haven't, now that you know our name and our brand, you might become a little bit more aware as you're driving down the highway, or if you're even like on the streets. We're kind of all over the place. But then I'll kind of move into leasing and logistics a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, with leasing, so like I said again, you might not recognize this as much. Our trucks are still on the road, but they are branded for our customers. But we still help the customers move their business. So we do this by providing the right vehicles for our customers' business. So we have a variety of different size trucks, ranging from cargo vans to 26-foot trucks, and then so like trailers. So we kind of cater it to what the business is needing in order for them to ship their material. So we also continue to help the businesses by keeping their fleet on the road with contract maintenance and roadside assistance. So we do have 24/7 roadside assistance. So large companies tend to run at night just to help like the flow. There's less traffic, they're able to move a little bit quicker in that sort of way. So even if you break down at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, we'll at least have somebody there still able to assist you. And then, of course, we just help manage the customer's fleet performance. So that's a little bit more of the leasing side, and these tends to be a little bit more long-term relations with customers. Let's see. So our logistics department, so our industry leading logistics services include flexible transportation, welding, warehouse service distribution, and supply chain solutions customized to meet our customers' needs. So logistics department is a little bit more like supply chain focused. That has to do more with helping customers figure out any challenges they may have within shipping the materials. And we're kind of like the middleman, helping them distribute a little bit easier. And then with the logistics, we help with all the following industries. So we have food and beverages. And like I said, I talked about how we partnered a lot with like Frito-Lay, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. We also do automotive, industrial manufacturing, consumer products and retail, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, high tech and electronics, chemical and publishing and packaging. So we help it all, basically. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and continue to talk about our sales and operations management trainee program. Let's see. So all of it encompasses is just collaborating with smart driven colleagues and helping millions of customers depend on us in a fast-paced environment and depend on you. And then in this time, you will learn how to run a business here at Penske. So we will introduce you to our sales processes, leading edge technology, and winning company culture through our ongoing training and mentoring to help cultivate the skills and expertise you'll need to know in order to exceed in pretty much all aspects of business. And I can always go ahead and continue to talk more, but I would say in this training program, you really do kind of get to know all aspects of business. Since I was in this program recently, we do touch with sales, operations, maintenance, finance, and corporate pretty much daily. So you were really getting a little bit of everything, which is kind of nice. And then also something interesting to note is that within your first 6 months of employment, you are invited to our corporate offices in Reading, Pennsylvania for a capstone event, and it's facilitated by our senior leadership. More recently, it has been virtual, unfortunately, due to COVID and not being able to travel as much. So I did my training virtually, but the years before they have done it in Reading, and they'll fly you out, they'll pay for everything. So it's a cool experience. And hopefully they'll bring it back at some point, which would be nice. And then let's see. And then just to kind of touch on this slide. So primarily the skills we are looking for is just dedication to providing top-notch customer service. Like I mentioned before, we are very customer service oriented. On the daily, you are interacting with a lot of business transactions and even personal transactions. So we kind of need that like friendly face and kind of happy smile behind the phone and in person. Also, we would like to see commitment to driving results, goal-oriented and self-starter mentality, kind of willingness to learn and grow through feedback during the program. You'll meet with your branch manager just to discuss things, how to improve. It's always nice because they want to see you succeed. Nobody wants to like put you down as long as you take the feedback and kind of like constructive criticism in a way. And then again, excellent time management, communication skills that goes in hand with customer service, communicating with the team that you work on, but also being able to finish all tasks in a timely manner. So those are some key things that we do look for within our employees. And then, so within Penske, we do primarily promote from within the company. And I think somebody told me, don't quote me on this, I think it's about 80 to 90% of the company is promoted within. Everyone typically starts out as this management in the management trainee program and in this position. It's kind of nice because a lot of our district leaders who are very high up in our ranks started in the same position as me. So it's more motivating, but also it kind of helps because if there is an issue, they pretty much know exactly how to help you since they were in the same position maybe a couple years ago. So everyone's story is a little different. And then here we have 3 different stories. Kind of as an example, so you can see Tyler, he wanted to sales, so he started as an MT, moved up into rental sales representative, and then moved into leasing sales representative. Megan, similar, started as an MT, went to an assistant rental manager, branch rental manager, and then she's in human resources. And then Matt, again, started as an MT, went to a district rental manager, and now is an area rental manager. And I would like to testify that all 3 of these examples are very much real and relative. I've seen people move up within 4 months. I've seen people move up within a year. It's becoming even more fast-paced, so the opportunities are continuing to growing, which is really nice. So again, these are very realistic examples. And then, so this is a testimonial. So I don't have a video for this, but I kind of wanted to take this time to share more about my experience. And then here, I'll stop sharing so that maybe you guys can see my face while I talk. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I did start in the management trainee position. I started in last September as in Indianapolis, in the Indianapolis district. So I actually did relocate out to this area. I'm from the Northwest in Indiana region. Started as an MT, straight out of college. I did graduate from Purdue University in May of 21. So shortly after I graduated, I started with Penske. Still kind of unsure of the path that I wanted to take. I knew Penske had a lot of different opportunities and growth opportunities. So I definitely took the chances to definitely explore the different departments since I was a little bit more unsure, which is completely fine. It was my first career, and I tend to tell people when I recruit them, and it's okay if you don't know exactly what you want to go into. That is the main point of our program, is to kind of cater it to you and figure out your interest and maybe what path you want to take. So I was very interested in maintenance, our maintenance department and our finance department, but I also really was interested in human resources and recruitment. So during my time as a management trainee, I shadowed some positions within these departments. And I came to figure out that maintenance and finance were not for me, which is okay because it's meant for somebody else. And I'm glad that I figured that out before securing myself in a full-time position that I may have not wanted to be in. So Meg's shaking her head because she knows, right, Meg? So, but again, I did shadow in recruitment and I really loved it. I love talking to people. I love making those connections. I have a very friendly personality. So I felt that it fit probably best for me. But again, because I got those opportunities to kind of shadow, I found my right career path within Penske. And then, so I started shadowing about 6 months into my position. And at 8 months, I was actually promoted into the position I am now as a university recruiter. So I started out in May of this year, and I've been doing it since. It is a temporary position, so I will be in it until about April, May of next year. And then my promotions are pretty much broadened again. So I'll be doing the same thing, kind of shadowing and looking for my next options and promotions. So it'll be a fun time. And then let me go ahead and reshare my screen to the presentation. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the next thing I would like to touch on is all culture here at Penske. So what we did was we asked our employees in the sales and operations management trainee position just to describe the culture at Penske, and this is pretty much what we came up with. So a lot of people talked about being empowered, supportive, teamwork, rewarding, fun, inclusive. So these are all sort of things that encompass the entire company and the culture. We do very much value the culture and the community here at Penske. And I can also testify to that. It's a very welcoming environment. Again, everybody started out this position, so if you ever have an issue or a problem, somebody is really there to help, and they know how to help you in maybe like a tough time or a tough situation, because they probably dealt with the exact same situation in the past. So everyone is very inviting and friendly too here. It's really nice, but it does help that we are a customer service focused company. So again, friendly faces, inviting people. Okay, here are our values. And I'll kind of go through all of these as well. So we have a passion for progress. And then, so we are constantly trying to improve processes and practices and innovate to help our customers. We've been trying to roll out a lot of different things, anything to make it easier for the customer. We know the power of partnership. So at Penske, we're an extension of our customers, and we work closely with them to address their toughest challenges and create new opportunities so they can prosper. We are guided by a deep sense of responsibility. So again, we are committed to treating our customers, associates, and communities and the environment with respect and care. Let's see, and then just to touch on the communities, we do a lot of like community outreach within each district. We have plenty of different districts. We have one in Fort Wayne as well. We take pride in our associates learning. So this is because we are fostering a learning culture that includes training, development, mentoring programs, and diverse experiences, and build a rewarding career. So again, that kind of goes hand in hand with maybe not knowing your exact route, but we kind of like cater your learning to your interests. So it's really nice. And then we understand we are stronger by diversity. So we find strength in fresh thinking and innovation by embracing our diversity that reflects our communities, countries, and customers that we serve. And then I'll share more in our next slide. But if you go to our website, if you ever go to our website, our diversity and inclusion site is very prominent because we are very prideful of this in our company. So I will just kind of go through this first. So again, our leadership is committed to promoting a culture and an environment that embraces our diversity and inclusion. So again, we value different perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences to help drive innovative ideas, challenges, and challenges that our customers may face, just to build stronger relations and also stay competitive in the market. We do love to support our community, like I mentioned before. And then every day we challenge our employees to find better ways of working by fostering a culture that empowers them to make a difference. And then just to kind of touch again on our community base. So our associates contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars annually to the United Way. And of course, multiple hurricane, oh wait, no, I'm so sorry. Because there is a list of like supports that we went through. So when there was some hurricanes that struck in Florida and the Gulf Coast, we did take some trucks and we provided Florida with trucks and fuel since we do have a couple of locations out that way. And then that was in support of their emergency response teams. But we worked with a lot of other different charities throughout the years, such as Toys for Tots, Habitat for Humanity. We support military spouses, World Team. Let's see, and kind of the list goes on and on. I won't read them all to you, but I can say again, like here in Indianapolis, we work a lot within the community. We've done food drives. I know in a couple, like next month or in like December, we'll be working with a small local business to provide gifts like during the holiday season for families who are less fortunate. But we also do this during the holidays a lot, just to give back to our community. And then here's a quote from Brian Hard. He is our president and CEO of Penske. And I'll just read it to you really quick. So Penske is a company where people help people move ahead. So one way we do this is by promoting a culture and an environment that embraces diversity and inclusion. And as a result, we are a stronger, more competitive company that better reflects the customers and communities we serve around the globe. So again, just to stress it, this is something we value a lot and find very important within our company. And then just to go over this kind of briefly, since these are just the benefits. But again, mentoring and training, flexible schedules. We do work within shifts. We have opening, mid-shift, and closing. So when I worked, one of my counter associates that I worked along with, she had a child and wasn't able to work certain days due to like her schedule. So they made it very flexible. She was able to work within like her 4 days. So we're very understanding of people's personal lives and their personal situations. So we're more capable of helping them out. We get paid time off. So we get about 3 weeks of paid time off throughout the year. Medical, dental, 401k savings plan, and then of course tuition assistance. So as a student, if you're wanting to work while in school, we can definitely set that up for you. As long as you let one of our team members know, we can try to get that set up. But also, even after you've graduated, if you take a year off and want to work, say with Penske, and go into your master's a year later, we'll of course like offer some tuition assistance for that as well. So great benefits, I'd say. Oh, and then also we get incentives and discount programs. So it is very nice. And since we do own pretty much the Indy 500, during the summer, like when all of that's going on, we get free tickets. So there's definitely some fun incentives too. And I did go, it was my first time. So it was an experience. Okay. And then we're heading into the end. So pretty much the next steps are meet us on campus, which you guys are doing today. So you've already one step ahead, taking the right steps forward in that initiative. So it's good. Second is just to explore our program. So of course, you can always go to our website, talk to me more. It's gopenske.com. They'll provide all of our job descriptions and even other opportunities within the company. And then, so if you are eligible to apply for our full-time position, the sales and operations manager trainee is a full-time position after you have graduated. Primarily after you graduate, but again, there are opportunities for like part-time, full-time while in school. But again, apply online, and then the next steps pretty much be the interview if your application is selected. So then we can just take the remaining time to see if you guys have any questions. And I'll just kind of throw this slide as a last thing with all of our social media platforms. So again, anybody have questions for me?
Can you look at the chat and I'll ask questions up here?
Yes, let's see.
Oh, I didn't know I was unmuted up here this whole time. I'm sorry, Krista.
Oh, it's okay.
Did you hear me talking?
Mm.
We just had one in the room. You wanted to know about locations. So could Indy, Fort Wayne, Northeast Indiana, where could people actually do the management trainee program?
Yeah, so the management trainee program is pretty much all throughout the United States. Let's see. We span from like California all the way to like Georgia. So we're pretty much anywhere. You can do the management trainee typically anywhere. I do primarily recruit for the North Central area. But I mean, more than welcome to do the management training at any area there's available. So
Could I do the management trainee program here and then ask to be transferred to California?
definitely like a typical route. So a lot of people tend to stay home for like their first year or stay local within where they live, and then you're pretty much opportunities also like broaden depending on like if you're willing to relocate. I know somebody here who started in Indianapolis and then moved out to Colorado. And that's definitely like a path anybody can take. It just depends on where your opportunities are next.
You see the chat. Thank you for that. Mario asked in the chat, what is the company culture like? I know you had a slide on that, but maybe go in a little bit deeper, give an example maybe of your experience, and then what kind of individual thrives at the company?
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, now I definitely have the question. I had to scroll up all the way to the top. Okay, so yes, so I can definitely talk about the company culture here at Penske. It is definitely something that kept me around. I like to talk about this a lot to prospective like students looking for work, because company culture is actually very important when looking for your first job or looking for a job in general. A lot of people say this tends to keep employees. This definitely helps with like the retention. I would say it's a very welcoming and fun environment. Since the management trainee is typically students who come out of the out of undergrad, you're pretty much working with a lot of people who are relatively around the same age, which I thought was really nice. Just because when I started looking for career options, like out of undergrad, I was scared that I would maybe not get along well with my employees. Of course, I'm friendly, so I knew I would get along, but there's that sort of how do I say it? That sort of understanding that if you're working with people who also came straight out of undergrad, you're all kind of more understanding that you may not know your exact path, and you're more willing to help in that sort of sense, which is really nice. Because I've always talked to my counter associates, and I've kind of like, oh, I'm not sure like where to go next. Like, what are you thinking? And they give me their honest opinion, and it kind of helps. It's kind of like being in college. You work on a team, and if you're all relatively around the same age, it kind of creates a different environment. So it's pretty much the same within being on the rental counter. And then overall, again, just to kind of reiterate, since Penske does primarily promote from within, that does provide a different type of culture within the company. So I know a lot of times you might go and work somewhere else, but then they bring a manager from an outside source. They may not know entirely sure how the whole company operates at that point. I mean, they're new too. They're also learning at that point. But it kind of helps because, our managers can go very quickly, but they understand everything about the company, and they are very willing to help you if there is an issue, because they've probably dealt with that exact same issue and still, again, within the same company. So they know how everything runs. It's very good. And then what kind of individual thrives at this company? So let's see. I'm trying to think of like similar attributes, because again, we do focus on diversity and inclusion. So there's not really like a straightforward answer to this as far as like what kind of individual, but some attributes of an individual. Again, just having that strive and that drive for improvement. And that's pretty much in any aspect of of the day, whether that's if there was a mistake made, if you're willing to learn from it and grow, that's excellent. And then again, like just kind of have that drive to really do what's best in like a situation, and like kind of heading into it strong, figuring everything out. Of course, you do have a team of people to help, but I say like kind of the best way of learning is sometimes just kind of like diving straight into it, and taking that like initiative. Let's see, what are some other really good attributes that I can think of? Something that you can always grow on. It's not really something, I guess, that people may have just out of the ordinary, but like communication skills, you can always grow on communication skills and learn. It's very important for a company just because you have to communicate within different departments daily. You have to communicate with the maintenance department if there is a truck needing maintenance, or if there's an issue with a truck, you need to communicate those issues very quickly. It's important to keep like not only our employees safe when they're working on the trucks, but also keep our customers safe when they're in the trucks. So that communication is key, but also like within other departments, you have to communicate with your finance department if there's an issue, maybe with somebody's payment. Let's see, and then communication within customers, making sure we are hearing exactly what they need. And even if they don't know exactly what they need, asking those correct questions to figure it out. That way, so we can get the correct reservation, the correct truck, the correct duration of the reservation all set. So active listening is definitely a good type of thing to have and practice. So those are just kind of things you can always work on, even if it may not be your strong suit as of right now, but it's never bad to acknowledge your weaknesses, because then you can turn them into your strengths. So always keep that in mind also. But yes.
So if I have communication on my resume or active listening, that might be like something, or a cover letter or something that might draw your attention. Is there any other advice you have for me if I wanted to apply for that, for this program, of things that might stand out to you on a resume?
That's a good question, because I've looked at a lot of resumes.
You have. Today.
Yeah, today too. Let's see. One thing I would like to know on your resumes is definitely make sure it looks very organized. That's something that always stands out to me, is when it's like kind of all in place. You have different sections, so I can kind of like quickly glance at it and quickly know exactly what I'm looking at. But let's see, some good things I do like to see are any leadership opportunities. That definitely does tend to stand out, just because we do look for students and employees that kind of take those initiatives to be a leader and to manage. So while I was in college, I was president of my sorority at some time, but I also took even some smaller leadership opportunities within different clubs and organizations at Purdue. So those are always good outreaches. And even if you maybe don't have time to be like that involved in an organization, just being like a member of something and contributing in some type of way. We also definitely love to see volunteer work. So if you do anything of that sort, it's always or part of like an organization that does volunteering. It's definitely something good to add, because again, Penske, we love to kind of give back to our community. So to see those opportunities and those like activities on your resume are something good to note as well. And then any more questions?
Well, thank you so much, Krista. If there are no other questions, and can everybody please give Krista a thumbs up or an applause in your screen? Thank you very much for taking your time today. We talked a little bit about following up with you and maybe the chance to get a gift card for lunch, since this was supposed to be a lunch and learn. How would you like these students to do that?
Yes. So if you either I would say email me. You can email me and I'll put it in the chat. It should be krista.serratos@penske.com. Go ahead and email me. You can also CC Meg, just so you're kind of like in the know. Let me know that you attended. I will be back for Talent Tuesday, I think on November 8th. So as long as you email me by the 7th, I will bring a gift card to a restaurant. I'm not sure. If you guys have suggestions, you can go ahead and email me or put in the email. If you have like a particular like fast food restaurant that you more enjoyed, go ahead and add that to the email. Just let me know that you attended this event. And then I'll make sure to get a gift card. And then when I come on November 8th, I'll have it for you and I'll leave it with Meg with your name on it. So you'll have that. And then Meg, I did know we talked about this. If there are any students who watch, prior to me coming on the 8th, if they email me by the 7th, I'll go ahead and also give a gift card for lunch. And I'll do that for maybe like the first 10, 15 students that email me.
Awesome.
So we'll make a
Email
good
you
group.
their resume, right?
Yes. And then if you guys who were able to attend today, email me your resume too, because then I can keep it kind of circulated within our company. If you are like maybe junior or under, we do have internship opportunities. So if you ever want to learn more about that, you can always let me know. But again, if you are like a senior, this would be a good time for like full-time employment opportunities. But again, reach out to me, email me your resume, and we'll kind of get you set for where you need to be.
So if I'm a sophomore, I should at least be aware October, my senior year, is when I apply for this program. What type of timeline do I apply for the internships?
The internships, so I think we are still actively taking internship resumes and applications. If you go to like gopenske.com, I'll type it into here. Gopenske.com. Okay. If you go to that website, go to the right-hand corner, click careers, and then if you type in internships, then they'll all kind of come out. We are starting an internship, and I believe in the Elkhart area, so not too far from Fort Wayne. So if you're like sophomore or junior looking for those types of opportunities, this is definitely something good to reach out to me about, and I can try to get you sent to like our regional recruiter, and they can get that kind of set up. But again, go to the website. It'll have all the opportunities linked onto there. Let's see, but those are primarily sophomore, juniors, but then full-time employment. Yeah, I know right now we are doing interviews in November. So if there are any like December grads looking for opportunities, well, I can still collect those resumes for November interview opportunities. But again, we'll be doing it again next semester, just in different time slots. So.
Oh, so if I am a May graduate, I have time.
Yes, you still have enough time. So
awesome. Well, thank you again so much. My students, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here today. Don't forget to email her your resume and then come see her November 8th in Kettler. I did put in the chat, if you were here for passport points, in addition to the great knowledge, you can just click that link. So in the chat, click that link and you should be able to get passport points for today. If that doesn't work, just email me separately and we can make that work. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it, Krista. I think this is like the perfect way to enter a career when you're not sure of what you want. I just imagine how nice that would be that your employer, your supervisor, your coworker, everybody knows that like I'm trying this out. I'm hoping to move up. I'm hoping to move on. I'm hoping to grow with this company. That just seems like a really nice way to start a career and get to try things out. And I want to job shadow marketing today. I want to try different things. Like, seems like a really great culture to grow in.
It definitely is. Again, you guys can always reach out to me if you have any questions. You're welcome to email me. So looking forward to see you guys as I come on Talent Tuesday. So it'll be fun.
Yes.
Make sure you stop by and say hi to me. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for all attending and get the opportunity for me to give this presentation. It was a great. Thank you
Great.
again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Can you stop the recording over there?